Welcome to A Transformed Life, the podcast where we alchemize our ashes into art, transform our pain into power and peace. I'm Hope Rose, your hope dealer, inspirational guide, and storyteller in this podcast. Each week, we dive into inspirational stories of transcending our grief, how to navigate custody battles with peace, transform our trauma into triumph, and what seems like a mess into a magnificent masterpiece. Together, we'll foster transformation, resilience, and guide you in claiming personal responsibility for your story. Our stories offer hope, encouragement, and community support, guiding you toward better health and wellness. Join me as we discover actionable ways to leverage our struggles, find healing, and rise like a phoenix. Tune in to discover your power, your divinity, and learn how to embrace your story so that it can serve others on their transformational journey. Hello, welcome back to A Transformed Life podcast. I am so glad you are joining me for this episode today. I hope you receive a lot of value and insights and wisdom from that. And speaking of the word wisdom, I had this thought earlier this week. Our wounds hold wisdom. And we often can think of our wounds as things to be ashamed of, things we wish we wouldn't have to deal with, wounds that we wish were healed a long time ago. And the perspective that I have been taking and I offer to you for your consideration as well is, what wisdom do these wounds have? Because they're all a part of ourself. And inherently, our self wants to be whole. Our soul wants to be whole. And so when we begin to look at our wounds as places to heal and integrate and become whole, our wounds don't carry so many triggers to us anymore. They also carry incredible insight and a glimpse into how we want to live our life going forward. So I know one of my friends, one of their wounds was this sense of just things, were really unfair, and they would lose their shit if things did not go according to what they thought would be right. And ultimately, what it presented to them, the wisdom and the gift in their wound, was their life purpose was to serve authenticity, truth. What is the truth? Not my truth, not the truth, but the truth. And so when we look at our wounds, we can kind of look at the gift behind them and the wisdom that they hold there for us. And that's kind of unlocking ourself. And that is how we become closer and closer to, feeling whole, being whole, and not being fragmented with things that we have not healed, worked through, and integrated into our life. So that is what I want to start the podcast off with a bang here this evening, or whenever you are listening to it. I am currently soaking my feet in my lovely magnesium. And I guess they call that wellness stacking. So I'm recording a podcast as I soak my feet in magnesium. I'm recording this a couple hours before bed. So it is a good time to soak my feet and gives me a good night of sleep. I also had a bi-weekly massage earlier today, which is really great. This week I've been really dealing with a lot of headaches, and I've been doing some really deep inner healing work. Whenever I go super deep, I tend to get lots of headaches. So that is kind of what is present for me. I'm wondering what is present for you as you are listening to this. I would love to hear. If you want to send me a message or leave me a comment in this podcast below, I believe if you're listening to it on Spotify, you can leave a comment. So yeah, what's present for you? Love to hear. And we are going to talk today about preparing for 2025, as well as 5 years out and 10 years out. And next week's episode is already recorded, and it is 25 ways, ideas for you to transform your life in 2025. So be prepared for that. Be on the lookout for that. Make sure you follow this podcast so you can be notified when new episodes are available. The other little housekeeping tip is to make sure you sign up for my newsletter, The Transformation Times. And when you do so right now, you receive a free copy of my 2024 Soulful Selections Holiday Gift Guide. And there's some really awesome goodies and discounts in that. So I would love your support. It's a free download. And yeah, there's still time to get rush shipping on a few of the items. And if not, keep the guide around for whenever you need a gift for yourself or for someone else throughout the year, because gifts aren't just exclusive during Christmas time. So without further ado, let us prepare for 2025, as well as 5 years out. So 2030, and then 10 years out. I guess it could either be 10 years from 2025, which would be 2035. Can't believe that. And where do you want your life to be next year at this time? 365 days. As we kind of, transition to the end of the year, there's going to be the winter solstice. It's going to be the darkest day of the year, where there's not a whole lot of light. See if you can really take this time to go internal and ask yourself, where do I want my life to be in 1 year from now? And then stretch yourself a little further. Where do I envision my life 5 years from now? And then the third step, where do I envision my life 10 years from now? What do I desire? What are my hopes and dreams? How can I make the most positive impact on the world, on humanity? What gifts do I have to offer the world? And how can I bring those gifts to light? How can I utilize my gifts, my talents, my skills, my life as an offering? My soul as in service to that which wants to be birthed through me. And, what are you in service to? And this is going to vary from obviously person to person, and you really have to feel into it. But, are you in service to truth, to love, to joy, to peace, to happiness, to freedom, to sovereignty, kindness, autonomy, gratefulness? What is your soul in service to? It's a very deep knowing in the body. It's not mental. So that is one way that you can kind of, tap into your vision for not just, the next year, which everybody kind of focuses on, but even, branching out into the next couple of years. And if this feels overwhelming, then that's a really good indicator that there's work to be done. And if you don't know where you want your life to be like, and you just know that you don't want it to be what it is today, then I would highly recommend that you schedule a session with me, and we can kind of untangle where you are now and how we can get you to where you want to go. Because life is too short to work 9 to 5, pay bills, pay unlawful taxes, and die. Our soul is here to have a divine purpose, to really light the world with love and transformation and healing and growth, and to really be a blessing, to be a source of inspiration. And so if you have had a challenging time with different circumstances in your life, and I'm speaking from personal experience, because when I was going through kind of the crux of my healing, spiritual healing path, I was asked, what do you want in life? And honestly, I really did not know. I was so deep in healing some very deep patterns and beliefs and systems that I really just had to kind of take a time out on that question. So if that is where you are, there's no judgment, there's no shame, there's no guilt, blame. That's simply where you are on the map. And know that you can have what you desire. Maybe it's not today. And in the future, you will know. And if you are, committed and devoted to healing, whatever it is that you are experiencing, have experienced in the past, writing down your vision and what you desire in life is absolutely possible, because I have done it. So the one thing that I want to start with first on preparing for 2025 and beyond is, what can you leave behind in 2024? Let's take the topic of clutter. Do you have clutter in your home, on your office desk, on your home desk, in your drawers, in your cabinets, in your pantry, in your mind, in your life? Where is clutter stopping you up? Where is cluttering stopping the flow into areas of abundance and gratefulness and the things that you desire? Is clutter a part of your current life? So there could be a lot of mental clutter, and there could also be a lot of physical clutter. Papers, extra clothes, maybe clothes aren't organized. Maybe the cabinets are, disheveled. There's just a lot of clutter. I would encourage you to do a spring cleaning in December. And if you are listening to this podcast in the other part of the hemispheres, it is actually summer for you. So, we usually talk about spring cleaning, and I think it's really important to take inventory in December of where you are in life, not just spiritually, but, physically, mentally, in your home environment, in your work environment, in your car. Do you need to get your car detailed? You can, go to a car wash and do it yourself, clean it out, vacuum it. I know as a mother, cars can fill up very fast with clutter and junk, and there's just being a mother, there's all kinds of things that can just pile up. And so if that is the state of your car, then I would encourage you to have a clean environment. And when you clean up the environment around you, you are energetically cleaning your spiritual path as well. And remember, everything is connected together. So our life is not a silo, it's not singular, but it's mind, body, spirit. And so that's why one of my principles is, to grow your business, you got to grow yourself. And, everything's kind of a reflection of our internal world is a reflection of our external world, and vice versa too. So whatever we perceive to be going on around us, it really starts from the inside. And so if you feel very cluttered, if you feel very disorganized, confused, take a look at your environment from how you are living. Do you have too much stuff? Start getting rid of things that you don't need. And if you think you need to hold on to things, really, really ask yourself, when was the last time I used this? And you don't have to get super minimalist, but I would encourage you to really clean your different spaces, your bathroom, your bedroom, your, kitchen, laundry room, garage, and pare down something. Give yourself a challenge. Like, I'm going to fill one bag with clothes that I want to purge. They are no longer serving me in the season of life. And side note, if the clothes are too worn to be taken to a thrift store, then I encourage you to look up this company called Trashy. And they have, I'm going to pull it up myself right now, if I can find it. But Trashy is this amazing company that they will recycle clothes, shoes, handbags, really anything. They even have electronics, and it's Trashy trash. And then IE, the Trashy take back bag. And so just order a bag and you can put all, socks, underwear, shoes, things that you no longer need, things that are no longer serving you. Get this bag, and they recycle it into products like bedding for, animals, pets, things that rags for cleaning companies. So it's a really great way to repurpose things that are no longer able to be worn, but we don't want them in the landfill. So I would encourage you to check out Trashy. I actually have a bag sitting here, and I just kind of fill it up a little bit every, I don't know. I have it sitting there, and if, when I see I don't have a whole lot of things, but it is really awesome just to have that there as a reminder of oh, what can I remove from my life that I no longer need? That's not serving me in this season. And when you start cleaning up spaces, you're going to feel so much lighter. And if you are wanting to lose weight, this is actually a really good energetic exercise. Start getting rid of things in your environment, in your home, in your car, in your workspace, and see how that feels energetically in your body. And that is actually a weight loss tip that many people don't know about. What else can you leave behind in 2024? Anger, unfair patterns, shame, guilt, fear, worry, anxiety. There's so many spiritual things that we can leave behind. Maybe it's friendships or relationships that are no longer supporting our highest good and their highest good. Maybe it is time to leave some unhealthy habits behind in 2024. Which brings me to my next point. What can you take with you in your 2025? So instead of waiting for January 1st, we don't have to wait for a calendar date to change to start living. So many people are trying to get through the holidays, excessive drinking, or even just moderate drinking. I think, that's all any type of alcohol or a liquor is not supporting you. Maybe it's parties, maybe it's overeating. Where can you make a change today? Where can you have awareness over a choice you are making that no longer aligns with where you want to go? And so you can take this new habit that you can start today and take that with you into 2025. And also sit down, take 15 minutes, 10 minutes, half an hour, sit down and really look at your life from this past year, of your successes, of your wins, and how you can amplify those and how you can take them even further in 2025. So maybe it was walking every day. Maybe it was reading a book a week. Maybe it was giving you some examples from my life. One of my goals was in this 2024 was to have a biweekly massage. I'm definitely taking that one into 2025. But what positive things can you take with you? And, and I say positive, but, there's nothing is either good nor bad. Thinking makes it so. So it's kind of the same lines with, negative and positives. But for the sake of this podcast, we're going to go with negative and positives. So I hope you understand that and track with me there. But what positive habit, what healthy habit did you have in 2024 that you are proud of? Did you make soul-honoring choices? Where were you aware of patterns in your life and you stopped it mid-pattern and you made a different choice? These are things you can write down, put them on a sticky note, put them, on your phone, and celebrate your successes and your wins and take those with you into 2025. And here are some questions I'm going to throw out to you as well for the future year, as well as, 5-10 years out. Where do you want to grow in your life? Spiritually, physically, mentally, nutritionally, maybe it's in your business, personal or professional. Do you have inner child stuff that's coming up that are you easily triggered by different things? Maybe it's one specific thing, maybe it's multiple areas. Write those down. Where would you like to grow? You can make it very personal. Where do I desire to grow in 2025? And then break it out even further. When I grow in this area, I am able to XYZ. I'm able to have the life I desire. I'm able to have the relationship I crave. I am able to go on vacation. I am able to take care of my family. I am able to respond to normally triggering situations, and I can respond from a place of a regulated nervous system. And break it out again. So the questions are, where do I want to grow? When I grow in this area, what does it align to where I desire to go? And then 3, when I achieve this, how can I use this for the highest good of all? And so these are really, really deep questions. And so if you want to listen to this podcast again, I would highly recommend it. And make sure you share this with a friend. Make sure you share it on social media too, because when you heal and you share it with somebody else, we all heal together. And this is also a way you can support the podcast. Another question is, what area do I want to heal? Maybe it's a childhood pattern, which I mentioned a few minutes ago. Maybe it's emotional trigger when you are, maybe you emotionally eat. Maybe you sleep in the morning instead of getting up and having a productive, healing, wellness, soul-centered morning. Maybe you feel rushed. So where do you desire to heal in 2025? And again, kind of the triangle of questions is, when I heal this area of my life, I am able to achieve fill in the blank. And then the third question is, when I achieve this, I am able to serve and support those around me. So those are just some, super simple questions, but definitely questions that take some very deep thought and contemplation, because healing is deep work. This is not superficial. This is not, it's not Botox. We're not just going to inject ourselves with something and go on about our day. It's really doing the deep inner work. When you do the deep inner work, that is where you take your life to the next level, as they say. And I will end the podcast with this is, how can I support you? I would love to support you on your healing journey, whatever that might look like for you, whether you are growing your business, whether you have an established business, whether you have patterns that you want to untangle and realign. If you want to lose weight, if you're going through family court, there's so many areas that I can support you in because I'm multi-diverse. I have really traversed so many different areas in my life. And I have a couple of decades of experience on all of these different topics, or decades of experience in various topics that we are talking about on this podcast. And so I do have limited one-on-one coaching guidance spaces available. And if that is something you are interested in, then please don't hesitate to reach out to me and send me an email or a direct message on Instagram. And I would be delighted to serve and support you in your healing going into 2025 and beyond. I think that is all for the podcast today. And I'm going to close it with one more question is, are you feeling whole, complete, grateful, kind, in a vibration and a frequency of abundance and blessing? Or are you feeling sad, anxious, worried, frustrated? And just check in with yourself. Check in with yourself. Maybe close your eyes if it's safe to do. If you're driving, obviously do not close your eyes. When you do get a moment to close your eyes, just, really ask yourself, how am I feeling? What do I desire to feel? And know that a transformed life is awaiting you. All right, my friends, thank you so much for joining me. Make sure you rate and follow this podcast. It really means a lot to have your support on this podcast journey. And I will see you next week. It's going to be a great episode, so make sure you bookmark it. It's going to come out on Christmas Eve, and it's 25 ways to transform your life in 2025. I will see you next week. Have a beautiful day. Thank you so much for listening to a Transformed Life podcast. If you got something out of today's episode, please take a screenshot and share it on social media with your takeaway. And don't forget to tag us at Hope Rose Speaks. Have a beautiful day.